Hey everyone, so have you ever spent forever building the perfect report only to have the data change literally moments after you finish? Yeah? You are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to show you how to transform those documents from static, dead snapshots into living, breathing data stories. Let's get right into it.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You spend hours getting a PowerPoint presentation just right, or maybe it's a Word document. You hit send, feeling great, and then you get that message. Oh, by the way, the numbers just got updated. It is so frustrating. But there are some incredibly simple ways to make sure that never, ever happens to you again.
All right, first up, let's talk about the method that, let's be honest, most of us use all the time, the static snapshot. I like to call this the quick photograph method. It's fast, it's super simple, and you know what? It definitely has its place.
So what do I mean by a photograph? Well, when you copy a chart from Excel and paste it as an image, that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking a picture of it at that one single moment in time. It captures everything perfectly, but just like a photo, it's frozen. If the numbers back in your spreadsheet change, this picture won't, not one bit.
Making one of these is ridiculously easy. You just select your chart in Excel, copy it, then pop over to Word or PowerPoint and paste it as a picture. Simple as that. Oh, and here's a little pro tip for you. Always hold down the Shift key when you're resizing it. That's what keeps the proportions locked so your chart doesn't get all stretched out and weird looking.
And this is what you get, a nice clean image of your chart sitting right there in your document. Now this method is absolutely perfect for things like a final quarterly report, or maybe a historical archive. Basically any situation where you need to preserve the data exactly as it was at a single point in time.
But what if you need your chart to stay up to date? What if the data is constantly changing? Well, that brings us to our next method, which is way more powerful. Let's talk about the living chart. Think of this as your dynamic live feed solution.
So instead of a static photo, linking a chart creates a live, active connection between your Excel spreadsheet and your presentation. It's kind of like a live video feed. It creates this pathway so that when the data changes at the source, your chart can reflect those changes almost instantly. It's a game changer.
The process is almost as simple, but there's one key difference. After you copy the chart, instead of just hitting paste, you're going to look for that tiny little drop-down arrow right under the paste button. Click that, and you'll see a couple of linked data options. Now listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. For this link to keep working, your original Excel file has to stay in the exact same spot. If you move it or rename it, that link will break.
Now, when you go to link your data, you get two main choices for how it's going to look. The option on the left, Use Destination Theme, is pretty cool. It'll make your chart's colors and fonts automatically match your PowerPoint theme. The option on the right, Keep Source Formatting, does exactly what it says. It keeps the chart looking just like it did back in Excel. It's totally up to you.
And here is the magic. After you've gone back to your Excel file and updated your numbers, all you have to do is go to the Chart Design tab in PowerPoint, click this beautiful little Refresh Data button, and boom! Your chart updates right before your eyes. No more recopying, no repasting, no reformatting. It saves so much time.
Okay, so we've covered the big charts. But for our final technique, I've got a fantastic little pro tip for you. This is for when you need to show a trend, but you don't have a lot of space. We're going to talk about a super elegant in-cell visualization, the tiny trend line.
So take a look at this. It's just a table of sales data, right? But what if you don't really need a whole full-blown chart for every single person on this list? What if all you really want to do is show, at a glance, whether their sales are trending up or down?
Well, the answer is something called a spark line, and it is a brilliant little invention. It's basically a mini chart that lives inside a single cell. It gives you a quick, clean visual summary of a trend without any of the clutter of a full-size chart. They're amazing. And you won't believe how easy they are to make. You just click an empty cell where you want it to go, head up to the Insert tab, and pick a sparkline type. I usually go for line or column. Then you just highlight the row of data you want it to show in the data range box and hit OK. That's it. It's that fast.
And this is where the real power shines. You can just drag that little box down and create these tiny trend indicators for every single row. You're basically turning a boring old table of numbers into a high-impact dashboard. You can instantly see who's on the rise and who's taking a dip. It is such an efficient way to tell a story with your data.
So let's pull all of this together.
We've just added 3 really powerful tools to your data visualization toolkit. And the real key, the secret, is knowing which one of these tools to use and when.
This little summary table breaks it down perfectly, right? If you need a quick, one-and-done snapshot for something that's never going to change, paste as an image. That's your go-to. For any document that needs to stay current, a live report, a presentation you're still working on, linked data is going to be your absolute best friend. And for those compact, at-a-glance dashboards right inside a table, sparklines are the elegant solution, for sure.
And that's really the big takeaway here. These aren't just, technical tricks. They are storytelling tools. Choosing the right method is what transforms a boring list of numbers into a story that is clear, that is compelling, and that anyone can understand in a second.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. You now have the tools to create those static snapshots, the living charts, and those awesome tiny trend lines. The only question left is, what data story are you going to tell next? Thanks so much for tuning in.